welcome to our third installment of our Introduction to Pilates. If you have not watched part 1 and part 2, I highly recommend going back to watch those videos, as it gives you some really good background information as to how to move through the Pilates movements. If you've never done Pilates before, please ensure that you are consulting with your physician first before you dive into these movements. If you are living with chronic pain and you've been given the okay to move from your primary caregiver or your physiotherapist or your physician, I would recommend starting with video number 2, as it starts you off with the real fundamentals of movement and a safe, easy way to build confidence in your movement patterns. This next video that we're talking through today will be a little bit more amplified in its efforts. And so if you feel like it's too intense, you can always go back to video number 2. All right, let's get started. We're going to introduce you to 3 classical Pilates movements. If you are a beginner, take this one nice and slow and build upon it. Start with 1, start with 2, and see how you do. In this Pilates exercise, we're going to start by drawing your knees up to what we call tabletop posture. Tabletop just means that you can serve a drink on your shins because you're creating this tabletop posture with the knee and the shins. The knees are directly over top of the hips. The belly button is pulling in just a little bit, and you start to feel the floor beneath you. All right, we're going to build upon this classical exercise. The first thing you're going to do is inhale to tap one toe down. Exhale to draw it back in. Switch to the other side. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, draw it back. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, draw it back up. Continue moving through this as you keep those ribs gently reaching for the floor beneath you, and the lower abdominals gently pulling in towards you as well. All right, if you feel comfortable and confident with this, we're going to take it on a little bit further. Now you're going to take one leg and reach it further away. Inhale as you reach the leg long. Exhale as you draw it back in. Inhale as you take it long. Exhale as you draw it back in. As you inhale and stretch that leg, okay, then you exhale and you pull your lower abdominals in a little stronger to help that leg come back to neutral. Inhale, take it long. Exhale, draw the belly in before you move the leg. Inhale, take it long. Exhale, belly, and then the leg will follow. Because just like we talked about, Pilates is all about moving first through the core. Good. Okay, let's move it on from there. Take your right leg and stretch it long. Whether it be closer to the floor or a little further away, it's up to you. And then you're going to switch. Good. Inhale as you switch, exhale to extend. All the while, those ribs are reaching for the floor gently beneath you. Your shoulders are relaxed and reaching for the floor as well. Good. Now, if this movement feels good, we're going to take you to the next level. Before we do that, just pull your knees into your chest, give your low back a little bit of a break. All right, moving on. Let's bring you back to your tabletop. Take your right leg long. Draw the hands behind the back of the head. Tuck the chin in as you find the length in the back of your neck, and you lift your head and shoulders. All right, all you're gonna do from here is inhale as you switch, exhale as you extend. Good. Last 4. 3, keep lifting through the head. 2, good. Let the head and shoulders come back down, knees pull into the chest, and take a break there. Our next movement is a classical Pilates movement called hundreds. We're going to build it up slowly so that you can build up your confidence and eventually get to the final movement pattern. We're going to start from your core, as we always do. You're going to take your belly button and you're going to pull on that pretend rope to pull the belly button in towards your torso. You start to feel the back ribs
finding the floor beneath you. Without lifting your head, roll your head forward on that bump in the back of your skull. You'll notice that your chin starts to pull in towards your chest. Hold there, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you lift your head and shoulders, you slide your hands down, and then you roll back down to the floor. Try it again. Exhale, and inhale. Exhale, and inhale. Try one more time. Exhale, and inhale. Good. We're going to modify those arms as we slowly build you up to this 100 exercise, okay? Arms this time are going to hover just off the floor. I'm going to pull my belly button in. I'm going to roll my head forward on that bump in the back of my skull as I tuck my chin in, take a breath in. Feeling the floor beneath me, I exhale and I lift and I slide my hands down as far as they'll go. Inhale, return back. Keeping my hands hovered above the ground. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. One more time. Exhale. Inhale, come on back down, take a break. Moving on to the next level. We're still building upon this 100 exercise. Now we're going to add a little breath and pulsing to this movement. Take a breath in. Pull the belly button in, start to feel the floor beneath you. Tuck your chin and roll on that bump in the back of the skull. Lift the head and shoulders. You're going to pretend that you have these little squishy balls underneath your hands, and you're going to pump, 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 pump. Now we're going to couple the breath with the pump, and it's kind of goofy, but we do a sniff. Inhale for 5. It sounds like this. We go. And then we puff it out for 5. Sniff. And puff. 2, 3, 4, 5. Sniff. 2, 3, 4, 5. Puff. 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower the head back down to the floor. Good. It's a lot of work through the neck. We're going to give you a little break before we go on. Now we're going to add the lower half. When you're ready, you start to add the lower half. We draw our knees into our tabletop posture. First thing we do, we pull the belly button in. We start to tuck your tailbone under just a little bit more, which means you're going to feel the floor beneath you a little bit more so because you are tilting your tailbone or tucking your tailbone under. Good. We hold there. By doing that, you should feel a little more work happening through your core. So just holding this position is work in itself. The lower half stays exactly where it is. We add the arms and they hover just above the floor. We tuck the chin in and we roll forward on that marble in the back of the head. Take a breath in. Pull the belly button in. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders off the floor. And we're going to pump and sniff. Inhale. Here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Sniff in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Puff out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Sniff in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last time. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Puff it out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower the head and shoulders back down to the floor. Pull your knees into your chest and just hold there. Good.
With this next exercise, we're going to teach you the classical Pilates move called the roll-up. You may want to use either a towel that's long enough or a band, something that you can wrap underneath your feet that you can hold on to. Now, it has to have a certain amount of length to it, okay? Something that is, this might be a little bit long, but just to give you an example. It's going to help you get through this next exercise. Now, if you've never done this before, you're going to need to have this as a helper. I'm going to place whatever it is that you've got, a towel, a blanket. This is a yoga stretch band. You can also use those TheraBands. Okay, and I'm going to stretch my legs long. So I'm going to start you in this upright posture. Now again, we're gonna build up to slowly introduce you to this movement. In this upright posture, you'll notice if I round out my spine, I'm not in neutral posture. So I want to first sit up as tall as I can. Now, if you're really tight in the back thighs, you can bend your knees a little bit to accommodate those tight hamstrings, okay? But I sit up as tall as I can. You'll notice you're sitting on two bones underneath you. We call those your sit bones, okay? We're gonna hold on to those sit bones there. I'm gonna lift up my ribs a little bit more, and I'm gonna start to pull that rope on my belly button. I'm gonna start to pull it in towards my body so you feel like it's working already. And then I'm going to take a breath in. As I exhale, I'm going to tuck my tailbone under. I'm going to start to roll past those sit bones, those bony processes that we're sitting on. Then I'm going to inhale and I'm going to stack the bones back over top of my sit bones. And then I'm going to do it again. Pull my belly button in, tuck my tailbone under, start to roll past those sit bones. You get this beautiful C curve through your spine and a bit of a scoop in your belly. Okay, you're gonna feel those tummy muscles working together. And then I'm gonna use those tummy muscles to sit me back up. Okay, so this is the most basic version of this next exercise that we're going to do. Okay, then we're gonna make this bigger. So once you get confident with this, then you can start to move to the next level. Okay, the next level, we're gonna pull the belly button in. We're gonna tuck the tailbone under, roll past those sit bones that you're sitting on. You get this C curve, and you're just gonna keep going with it. I'm gonna roll my spine down, bone by bone, down to the floor to lie down on the ground. Now, if you have a rod in your spine or you've had surgery on your spine, this is not going to be comfortable and maybe not even advisable up front, okay? To get you back up, when you first do it, don't worry about what it looks like. It's going to be messy, but we're going to build your strength first on the down so that eventually the up will become much better. We start by taking a deep breath in. I'm going to exhale and pull my belly button in first, as we always do. Then I'm going to roll forward on that bump in the back of my skull as my chin comes towards my chest. I'm going to exhale and lift my head up off the floor. I'm going to use that rope or whatever you've got to pull you up. As you get over top of those sit bones, you stack the bones, the head over the shoulders over the ribs, and the ribs over the hips, okay? Again, any way you can get up, we'll work on the down to get your strength first, and then the up will come. Let's try it one more time. Exhale, pull the belly button in. Tuck the tailbone under, bone by bone, you're rolling it down. Good. To the floor. Take a breath in. Exhale, belly button pulls in. I roll on that bump in the skull, tuck the chin, I lift the head, I start to roll bone by bone up off the floor. I use the rope to help me pull up. And as I get up to my sit position, I let go of that C curve in the spine and I reach the top of my head up towards the ceiling. The final level of this Pilates exercise, the roll up, is without using any equipment. We're going to take those arms forward in front. We're going to take a deep breath in. I'm going to pull the belly button in first. I'm going to start to tuck the tailbone under, creating that C curve, just like you did a moment ago. I'm going to slowly roll down one bone at a time, one rib at a time, down to the floor with as much control as I can muster up. I take a breath when my arms reach long. Exhale, the arms start to move. My belly button pulls in, my chin tucks in, and I roll, peel, lift all the way up to sitting position. We'll try that one more time. Take a breath in. Exhale, belly button. Tuck the tailbone under. Start to create that C curve in your spine, scooping the belly, rolling down. Good. Take a breath as we reach the arms long. Exhale, arms, tuck the chin, roll through the ribs, all the way up. Good. And there you have it. You are a Pilates rock star. Thank you so much for watching. And again, take your time to practice the steps to get you up to the final outcome. There's no rush.